Okay, so hi guys, it's me Deepak. Been a while. So in this video, what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a sort of like a real-time subscribe. Okay, so what I'm basically building right now is a way to fetch real-time stock data. That's what I'm using a company called Finazone. Okay. Let's say I have a company. I'm like fetching data from a company called Finazone. So what this Finazone will does is it will give me it'll give me a real-time data. So how do I fetch this data? I'll use something called WebSocket. Now, once I have this real-time data, I need to process this data, and so initially what I'll do is using WebSockets, I'll push the data that I get, like each second that I get, into a table which is going to be in KDB. So once I have this data, it's going to be like a symbol, time, close, high, low, the basic things. Once I have this data, what I need now after this is to process this data. I'll create another real-time subscriber, and initially what I'll do is I'll calculate moving average, exponential moving average, and everything. So now I have a new row, the latest row that I want to push into a new table. So what I'll do is this will give me new rows of data, and what I'll do is every time I get a new row of data, I'll calculate I'll feature engineer new data. I'll add more features into that data so that it's easier for me to make predictions. So stay tuned. So once I have suppose now I have moving average and EMA and everything else. Now I want to this new data plus this feature engine data, and I want to push this into a new table. So what I'll do is I'll connect to another KDB plus data server, KDB plus process, that will be on a different port, and I'll push this data into that table. So this is what we are gonna this is what I'll explain how I was able to do it. I've already done it. So I'll just give you a demonstration. It's not going to be a tutorial per se, but it's going to be a bit more informative. So what we need right now is, so let me go to my screen. So I have taken inspiration from this building real-time tick subscriber. So what it basically does is subscribe and fetch data from the new server. So it gives you you can just download this package and do real-time publish and subscription model. So it has this code where you you have these two tables called trade and quote, and you it generates data and push into these tables. So you have basically subscribe to those tables in a way. The code doesn't exactly make that much sense, but it works. So we'll be using this code with our code. So okay, initially what we need is a way to fetch real data. There are multiple ways to get it. I'm using this company Finazone, not sponsored, but it was the cheapest way for me to do it. So it costs $5 for the trial version. If you want for all the companies, I had initially had in mind I had in mind that I'll use Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, and all those companies, the Mang companies. But no, the trial version only gives you access to few of those companies. So in this demonstration, I'll only just show you with the Apple and Microsoft. Those come with the trial version. So if you pay $5 and if you just want to test this thing, if this works or not, just like me, and so I think $5 is enough. Just pay it, then subscribe, you get an API key, and then you can just go ask ChatGPT to build you a way to fetch data. So that's what I basically did. I just went to ChatGPT and asked it to like, hey, buddy, help me out. Like, hey, why not like write me a Python subscription model, Python WebSocket code. So we just give you from start to like how to subscribe and like and how to keep on fetching information. So you obviously need async.io. Okay, I didn't do that. Now you can see my screen. So what I basically did was like I had this logger and everything, and this was a function how to deal with messages. And okay, so start with the WebSocket enable trace, just for debugging. Logger in for like was using logger to like log and debug basically. Set up a Q connection so that I can sync the data that I'm getting with a KDB plus database. So I need this Q connection library. Once I have this, I'll set up a WebSocket or sort of WebSocket app and give it the API key and define my functions. So it has those parameters like on open. So once your connection is open, what to do? On message. So once you receive a message, what you want to do with that message, like how do you want to process that message? And on error, like what do you want to, like how do you want to handle errors? Clear? Once you have this, you go with on open, and on open you just like subscribe. So I'll just give it the WebSocket, that data set and tickers. And what is that? So data set is SIP non-pro, and tickers were Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and Meta. But since I was on trial, I was only able to like subscribe. You can add as many symbols as you want, but at the back end, the finance zone will figure it out that you're on the trial version. It will only give you access to those two symbols like Apple and Microsoft. And so once you're like successfully set up the connection, so once you subscribe also like comes. Okay, I think there's another function also. Yeah, this is the function subscribe. So now you want to like have a request. So event subscribe data set is SIP pro. All of this information you can also like get from the docs as well. And this is where I get the information from. Like this is where I get the information from. Yeah, this is actually the code. So okay, I think I just copy this from here. So my bad. Once you have everything set up, now you need is like so once you're like subscribed, so once you like send this subscribe request, so say subscribe, now it will shift to the on message. So now it will like keep pushing in the new data. Also like we have defined here when to get the data. So like frequencies 10 seconds, aggregation is 1 minute, blah blah blah. And once you're like subscribed, you now load the data. So JSON node load, basically get it in JSON format, and then you do some if conditions, and then I basically extracted the data that I want. So I wanted time, symbol, high, low, open, close, and volume. I think the only things that were important to me were close and volume, but okay. Once we have this information, what we'll do is we will send it to our KDB database. So once you have done that, we'll just like push it and push to a database, and you call a function. So like these are like how to pass a row into a table. You can create a function. So just create a function. Just call it ingest, and this is your data, and you just like have your database name. Let's say your database name is real-time database, real-time data, and you just insert the data. This was the code. So now like this is your function, and after the function, this qthing takes the function argument and then the parameters. So rest of it are just the parameters that it takes, and yeah, this is basically it. Once you have sent it, now to like save the data. This is basically why we need Python. Other than this, we don't need Python at all. I could have done this in Q as well, but it was much easier in Python, and ChatGPT recommended it, so I just cheated. Okay, next thing. Once you have set it, we will create a table. Like while we have like set web circle, we also need a table. So this is how my table looks like. The real-time data. Then we need to like ingest the data. So I have this time.set.p. It's a funny story. Okay, you're gonna love this. Python. So there's a difference in how timestamps work. So the timestamp we get in Python, the timestamps how Q process, there's a 30-year delay. Like you have like a 30-year time reference. So when I was like getting the timestamp and converting it into the KDB, it was giving me timestamp for 2054, and that didn't make sense until I realized that for timestamps in Python it starts from 1970, and for Q it starts from 2000. So yeah, that was a funny story. I posted on LinkedIn, so like make sure to follow me on LinkedIn. So I just like so I just went with .z.p. .z.p basically gives you a timestamp of the current after time when this function will get invoked. So there's going to be a slight delay between when the data was pushed and when the function was invoked. So you'll so it's not good. So you have to like, I also did a way to like just subtract 30 years, but I was missing seconds of data. Like it wasn't like, it rounded off to like minutes. So the seconds were not there. Like I'll have 60 records for 1 minute, and all of them have the same timestamp, which I didn't like. So I just did .p to get the current timestamp. Other than that, other than that, there was no hiccups while working on this code. So then I have this symbol. I did some type conversion just to be sure, because I was getting some type errors. This is the error that you get. What the fuck is that? Type? Like, be more discreet, Q. Like, give me more answers. Okay. So type conversion, and just like then at the last line, you just do this, and voila. That's your basic code. So you know what? I'll let's give you a demo, right? I'm just blabbering. I haven't shown you anything, so why would you believe me, right? So I also need a new terminal, and okay, and I'll just let's just set up a port 5000, because that's the port that I've set up here while connecting somewhere. I've set up port 5000, so make sure to set up a port for that as well. I'll give the code in the description, so if you just want to set the port, it's in the description. And okay, let's set up table, and the ingest real-time data function that will basically just ingest table like data into the table. Okay, this is a table's empty right now. Now we will just call 3.9, and this will like now run the code and blah blah blah. Okay, it started, and now if I do, here's the data, here's the current price tick and everything. So it works, voila. So it's now every 10 seconds, so it's gonna take like 10 seconds. You can adjust it to 1 second or whatever you want. So it's up to you. And okay, now you're like ingest the data, but now what? let's suppose you also wanted to perform some calculations. Okay, you want to process the data, so you want to like first connect it to a different port, right? So I'll just do is I'll set up a I'll first I will go and here and download this code. I need this code, and once I've downloaded this code, I'll go to that particular file. For me it's in here. What I'll do next is I'll go inside tick and I'll create a new file called sim. This file needs to be there. It's not there in the KX, but if you go inside the tick.q code, you'll see that they need a sim.q file, and it's not there. So if I just go sim.q, what I've basically done is I have just added a schema for a table, which looks like this trade table, and I have also like I think trade should also be here. So this is the table that I have pasted inside the sim.q file, and once you're done that, that's all you need to do. You basically just need that. Other than that, I have no extra file in there, I hope. So let's just see. Okay, I have 2 more files, but you don't need those. Also hd.q and what we have in tick. Here are that's all the files you need. We just need the trade folder and the tick.q file. That's all you need. All those other things that I just did for fuck's sake, I don't know why. Okay, so once you have like installed and set up everything, just go to this just go to the kd-stick folder and run this command tick.q sim. This is where your table is going to be, your process table is going to be, your process data type, process table schema is going to be there, like how you want the data to be. So you're basically just a column, basically where you have initialized your table. So sim is basically the name of the file. Where you want to like save the data later. So I want to save this data in the C drive, and I've named the folder to be one disk database, and I'm setting everything on 5010 port. So once I run this, it ran successfully. Now if I go and check query table, okay, weird. Okay, that happened. Oh, okay, this is my table right now. And what I'll do is I'll connect to this table, this port using H. So I'll just set up a port or like open a connection to the localhost 5010 in where like I have basically set up the 5000 port process. Okay, that's there. So from here I can access trade. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll I will also create this function, calculate moving average. I need to process data. So I have explained how this works in my previous video, so I'm not going to explain again. Basically I'm just like processing the data and creating moving average, where I'm using MAVG function. For exponential moving average, I'm just using EMA and finding that 2 model 20 and 2 model 51 for the 50-day window. That is basically all I'm doing. And then I have done some left join operations and everything. It was insane to like get everything set up, because once you have done the table and like, okay, there's a long story to this whole record that I don't remember, but I did left joins for some reason, and then I basically had this whole table. So once I have this, or maybe I just like basically just wanted to use join operations. Once I have this service function, I'll create this .h function, and no. So once I have like created this function, what I need right now is to call this, I want to call this function, let's say every second. So what I'll use, there's a code called wz.wts basically time, like if you want to, it's basically a time function in Q. This with .z.ts, and if you like, if I go here and let's say I set up a code that just show me hello. Close this, and let's say I want this function to be called every second. So it will keep on calling this. It will keep on calling this function every second. So whatever lines of code I had written inside wz.wts, it will keep on running defined by my time. I can stop this by just stopping /t in 0. So to stop this, I just have to do this and to like stop that .z.ts function. But what I want to do is I want to call this function inside my time series. Okay, so this is my, I was like, where's my code? Okay, so this is my time series function, and here I'll first of all I'll get data for Microsoft, then I'll get data for Apple, because I want to like separate here. Think about it, I'm just pushing all the data into my real-time database, but it has both Apple as well as Microsoft data, so I'm like separate those two. So I just created 2 data points. I could have done if I had more stock symbols, I would have just done each for each the code to like iterate to the list. So just do I would have done each, but since I have only 2, so I just did this the old-fashioned way, and take a call that calculate moving average function with the for each stock symbol, and then I called this function called h. So what h function does is you basically define a code you want to run, function you want to run, and then you get the parameters. So here I have done like here you can see I've created a dot function, and inside that I have also created a function called insert. Like whatever I'm passing, it will insert into the trade. Trade is a table in that database. Okay, here we don't have any trade. So whatever trade I'm referring right now is in the different process. So I'm just referring it using the slash symbol. So it's a symbolic, it's not a real thing. So I'm just using a symbol here, and I'm just inserting the data, insert x. But where is x? X is this data. It is the last row of the process table that I'll get from the calculate moving average. So I push in the data, I'll calculate the moving average, so it will give me a whole table, but I just want this last row, so I use the last here, like last keyword, to just get the last row, last data point for each column, and then I'll push that and then I'll just insert that. So if I call this function and I do this and I do /t 1000, shorter than 10,000 because that will be in sync with the table in there, but here, and now you can see why. Okay, it works. So it's working right now. If I do it again, and you can see also there are duplicates. These are duplicates. Why? Because I should have called, because I'm a dumbass, and I should have called this time series function every 10 seconds, not 1 second, because I'm getting 10 seconds of delay between each data point that I'm getting from the Finazon. But other than that, this was the whole process that I wanted to share with you guys. Tell me if you have any suggestions for me. I'm just learning something new and just wanted to share with you guys, and hopefully someone is in the same boat as me. So thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.